After 14 seasons of defeat and failure, the Army Black Knights last year shocked the world of college football. What is going on, guys? It's Snake Sports here, and today I am talking about the Army-Navy game, one of the best rivalries in college sports and college football. Always ends but after all the conference championship games. Army is in the independent, and I believe Navy is in the American Athletic Conference. But man, last year's game was awesome. 14 years since the last time Army has beaten Navy, but it all ended last year with Army winning 21-17 against the number 25th ranked team in the nation, Navy, who were at the time 9-4. Army shocked everyone this year. They had a great record this year. They won a bowl game against North Texas. They finished the season 8-5. A great season for a long time. Army has struggled in the past seasons, but it's always gonna be an epic battle between the Navy midshipmen. Sorry, it sounded like the cuss word, but it's not. Army Black Knights. It's always gonna be a battle because both schools always go down with honor and they always fight for their team, and the rivalry is just amazing. I love watching an Army-Navy game because it's like a run type of team, and the defense is both as well as good also. They run a wing T formation, so it's kind of confusing if you're new to the game or you don't really watch the wing T formation. It's like the two H-backs and the fullback and the quarterback, and you have the two wide receivers as well. It's very confusing. It's like a read option, but like a one back with two other backs. So it's kind of confusing to most people if you don't really watch the wing T formation. But I really like the formation. It could probably kill the NFL with that type of formation if you have really great running backs as well. But let's go ahead for last year's game. I'm going to tell you the stats, and I'll give you my perspective of this year's game. Everyone mostly is back. Ahmad Bradshaw's back. Kel Walker, I believe, is back. Andy Davidson as well. Also, Edgar Poe's back, so that's a huge asset for the Army Black Knights. I believe all the people from Navy is back as well, like Zach Abbey, I believe he's back. If I'm not mistaken. Sorry. Comment below what you guys think, and also if I'm wrong, if majority of some of the guys from Navy are back from last year. But as you all know, that Army won 21-17. Let's go through the box score. Sorry. So the first quarter, Army was up 7-0. Second quarter, Army was up 14-0, and then third quarter, Navy came back, which was like 10-14, and the Navy came back in the fourth quarter, and then Army with the last touchdown to win the game against the midshipmen. It was epic. It's awesome, like I said earlier. So let's go through the stats. So not that much passing because, like I said, that both teams run a wing T formation with 3 running backs and the quarterback as well. It's like a read option, but with 2 other backs also in a one back formation. Alright, so Navy's passing, we got Zach Abbey, the quarterback. He went 6 for 10, 89 yards, 8.9 yards per average, 0 touchdowns, and 2 costly interceptions with a QBR rating of 23.0. We have Ahmad Bradshaw, who will be back for the Army Black Knights. He went 2 for 4, 35 passing yards, 8.8 yards per average, 0 touchdowns, and 1 interception. Like I said, they're more of a running type of team. So for Navy's rushing, we got Zach Abbey, who scored the most. He had 19 carries, 73 yards, 3.8 yards average, and 2 touchdowns. We have Sean White. He had 3 carries, 22 yards, 7.3 yards per average. And Chris High, who had 4 carries, 17 yards, 4.3 yards per average, and 0 touchdowns. We have, for Army's rushing, we have Kel Walker, 16 carries, 94 yards, 0 touchdowns. Andy Davidson, who was a clutch for the Army Black Knights, he had 28 carries, 87 yards, 3.1 yards per average, and 2 touchdowns. Ahmad Bradshaw had 9 carries. He had 51 yards, 5.7 yards per average, and 1 touchdown. Those were your 3 touchdowns. For for receiving, we have Jameer Tillman. He had 3 receptions, 33 yards, 11 yards per average, and 0 touchdowns. We have Edgar Poe, who's a great receiver for the Army Black Knights. Edgar Poe, it's kind of funny because you know the Edgar Allan Poe, the famous poet. He had 1 reception, 29 yards, and 0 touchdowns, but he had 29.0. It's the only catch he had of the day. It was crazy. And he had Joe Walker, who was the only other 2 wide receivers who had 1 reception, 6 yards. That's funny. But fumbles, Navy had 1 fumble by Sean White, and Army had 2 fumbles by Andy Davison and Ahmad Bradshaw, which is clutch for Navy. For defense, for interceptions though, I believe. Sorry. Ryan England had 1 interception. Xavier Moss had another interception for Army, which that was clutch for them. Also, Navy had 1 interception as well. The most tackles from different teams, we have Sean Williams had 14 tackles, while that was for Navy, and for Army they had 9, and 9 that's from Jeremy Timth. I believe that's how you pronounce his last name. So I feel like Army is going to go back-to-back to wins in this series, because Army has mostly the guys back and their experience, and I feel like it's going to be a low-scoring game. It's going to be the mid-20s, low 30s, so it's not going to be a high-scoring game. It's going to be a low, tight battle, a gritty game, and it's going to be an epic game. I can't wait for this game again. I love watching the Army-Navy game. It's awesome. You guys should watch as well. It's incredible to watch these guys go out and battle for their country also, because they're both in the military, and also they're fighting for the trophy for the Army-Navy game. And also, can Army go back-to-back after 14 years of defeat? They won last year. I was pulling for Army, I still am, but I do like Navy though, because I have some friends on Navy. But also, I like Army, but I just like this rivalry. I just like Navy and Army. I know you're not supposed to like the 2. But by that being said, I hope this game will turn out to be a great, epic rivalry. And it's going to be awesome, like I said. And hopefully, it'll just turn out great. But yeah, let me know in the comments below. Like, comment, subscribe. Guys, hope you enjoy this video. And see you guys later. Peace.
They're playing with right now.
And here we go with the offense ready to get things going again. Off-play action. Now he's on the move. He's taken down around the 29-yard line.
Very solid gain through the air. I'm impressed with the poise of this quarterback.